Hi everyone, I'm Tracy, your host for Chandler's Channel, and today's session is our weekly reading for September 23rd to 29th, 2013. So if that's what you're here for, please stay tuned. Whitehawk will be up next. But as always, I like to touch back on last week's reading, and I just re-listened to it, and it was a doozy. And the reason why it was a doozy is because Whitehawk was so accurate, and I'm going to explain to you why, but have a listen because I could not possibly paraphrase everything he says, but I'm going to try to explain. He said it would be a challenging week, but at the end of the week there would be a silver lining. Challenging week, at the end of it, there'll be a silver lining for me and for him. Interesting, right? And that it would be a week that we would live our life with purpose and be more on our path than ever, and that we would fight the war that rages within against ourselves. Not necessarily me, Tracy, but like society, civilization. And he said in it that it would be a delight at the end of the week. Okay, so here's how I see it. I lost my friend on Tuesday, or was it? Okay, I lost my friend on September 18th, 2013 to a bus train crash. He was the driver. His name was Dave Woodard. And he was at the forefront of a lot of speculation of, like, people were saying he just ran into the train. And so I made an intuitive log. So when you see the intuitive log in the archives, you know that's what it's about. Because I was very upset, and I'm very tired today. You can see that, right? And my voice is going and everything. I've been through a lot, nothing compared to the families, but he was my friend. I grew up with him in junior high and senior high. And, sorry, so what was I saying? All right, so there was a lot of speculation, a lot of people being very insensitive on social media, in the media, and the way the media had sort of come off and reported it was insensitive. So I did a vlog on it, expressing my frustration, and also using my intuitive abilities. I channeled a message from Whitehawk regarding the accident. And I guess the delight would be that at the end of the week, the media stepped up. They did a interview with the family. My friend, his brother was on there, and so was his wife and his daughter and stepchildren and extended family. And they gave them voice to make people realize that he too was a victim in this, and that he wasn't a monster. And that this family was grieving not only for the loss of a husband, a son, a father, a friend, a sibling, but they were grieving the loss of the other people that had lost their life in that wreckage. So that helped. They stepped up. And then I went on to Facebook, and there was an update on the crash, on the wreckage, through the investigation. And the Ottawa Sun had commented, had put right there that this is not a place for speculation, and that if you speculate anything, that comment will be removed. And so I wrote, thank you, and I said, God bless for that, because to me, that is the media stepping up. So in this, you had the dark side that happened, a lot of speculation. Some people were being so mean, saying things like a suicide mission, and that no matter what happened, it would be covered up, and even if, driver error, it doesn't matter if it's driver error. It's so tragic what happened here. So many people lost their lives, so many other people were injured, and their lives are changed forever. You may never hear about these people again in the media. Some of them may have concussions for years like I had, right? I mean, some people may have legs or arms, I don't know, that may never function as well as they did before this. And I can't imagine the mental aspect that goes with this, right? The mental, the emotional. So the delight was delight, so like the light, right? Is that the media was stepping up. So I say kudos to them. The delight in the end of it all is a lot of people, Dave's brothers and sisters of the bus authorities, the people who work in the transportation system all across Canada. I seen them writing on Terry's that's his wife, his Facebook page. These are his brothers and sisters that he worked for. These are the people who know what it is to drive the bus, the amount of risk they take every day and the responsibility they have, right? And I seen people step up from years ago that haven't seen Dave, like for me, right, for instance, and so on and so forth. And so not even Dave, I just seen the community come out for the other people who lost their lives and injured too. They had a memorial service, and people from that church made dinners and stuff for those victims' families, right? Because you know how hard it is just to eat during such a crisis. So it was just amazing to see how everybody stepped up. So thank you, Ottawa. Thank you, the world. Thank you for that. We're stepping up. We're changing. And that's what Whitehawk said, like we're going to rage against the war inside us and civilization and the insensitivities that can come out towards others. And then the delight at the end would be the silver lining, that no, we're stepping it up and we are learning and we are changing and we will change and we will continue to change. And the change occurs from within, right? It starts with us individually. And if we start, then another person will start, and another person will start, and it just goes on and on and on and on like that. And so that was a very powerful reading for me last week. And I didn't even really realize how powerful it was until I listened to it this morning. I mean, last week it was an awful week for me to get through. I mean, I used to play ball on Sundays with Dave. We'd play scrub together. He'd come and get me and another female friend. And we'd go play scrub, and sometimes my sister would come along, and Dave's brother Steve would come along, and we were just kids, 12, 13, 14, 15, going out on our bikes and hitting a baseball diamond and playing for hours, and then you ride home, and there's no safety factors, there's no fear factors in that society, that we don't have that here today. And then, whatever we eat and drink, and then we'd run off and go wherever again, and we just had so much fun being good kids, harmless fun, clean fun. And then many times, we'd be in the gym together, and other times we would be up in the bleachers in our school the high school we went to, and it was just good, clean fun. It was just, it was nice, and so he's a part of my life that will never, his memory will never die, and I thank him for being in my life. As sad as I am that he is gone, I will forever be grateful that I knew Dave Woodard. Okay, so have a listen to that blog. Have a listen to last week's reading. See if it's apropos for you somehow in your life, because it is many-sided. It's not just one-sided. See if there was something that happened in your life, then there was a light in it at the end of the tunnel, and then, it helped you wage in the roar in society and how society is treating each other, right? I mean, the war is really within ourselves and the way we treat each other and the insensitivity. So let's keep moving forward on that. Okay, so I wanted to be here today. It's very important. I am very tired, but I'm sad. But I wanted to be here, and I wanted to put forth a reading for this upcoming week. Okay, so let's go see what Whitehawk has to say. Indeed, he says. It was a very challenging, troubling week, n'est-ce pas? And he blesses himself. And I say yeah, and I hear other people like shaking their head. Yeah, it was awful. I know, my children. And my heart aches for each and every one of you. And he gives me like this big hug. And he says, if I could, and I would, he said, I would hug each and every one of you, he says, because you need it. And you will need it for many days, many months to come, my friends. And he blows us a kiss. So take time in these upcoming days and months as you move forward from this tragedy, he says, Ottawa. Take time. Take time to cleanse. Take time to heal. Take time to grieve. But most of all, take time to be kind to someone else this week. Take time, he says. And I assure you, it will make all the difference in the world to that person, he says, so that they can move forward in happiness and in glee and pay it forward to someone else. Is this not how it works? He says. N'est-ce pas? And we're all just kind of numb, and we're listening, and we're quiet, and we're sad. But we get what he says. We do, we get it. Now, I know it is a troubling week, he says, still to come. For many, if not all. But my children, your heart is not dead. Your heart is still beating. It is still challenging you in your life, he says. So move forward. Get up, he says, and move. For many of you, the grief will be in your legs. The grief will be in your chest. The grief will be in your head, he says. For others, it will be in your stomach. It will be in your nose. And others yet will feel nothing. And that is okay, he says, for a while. But for those of you who feel nothing, it is not okay to not feel for a lengthy period of time. And so we're taking this in and contemplating it. And it's so funny because I see Steve and Dave watered up in the bleachers at Rideau High School, the high school we went to. And Steve's leaning over and talking to Dave. He says, yes, you, says, I am talking specifically to you. You do not need to be a strong man, he says, Steve. You need to move forward from this. You need to grieve it, to relieve it. And so my heart is just really pumping. And Jesus has made an appearance. Or he's letting me know that he's around. And Whitehawk says, yes, Jesus is always around in times of tragedies, in times of melancholy, even in times of happiness, he is around. But we have not been listening, have we, children? We have not been listening very well, have we? He's pointing to his ears. Is it time to listen, children? To know that you are loved and coveted by Jesus? And I see Dave and Steve in the bleachers again. It's time, he says. It's time. So be blessed, he says, knowing indeed it will be another challenging week, he says. But it will be a glorified week as well. Be blessed, children. Know that I love and I care for you, and we always watch over you, even when you do not believe that we are. But we are. God bless to everyone, he says, as you walk through these challenges. God bless. Thank you, Whitehawk. Well, that is our reading for this upcoming week. It seems to have taken on a personal note, hasn't it, in a way, Steve? And all of Ottawa and those people suffering from this tragedy. But it also, I'm sure, has taken on another side for my viewers, my subscribers. And I want to thank my new subscribers for coming on, and my new viewers for watching, and for those of you who've been commenting and viewing and liking, sharing too, sharing with me. I'm very grateful. Thank you. So our next reading is Thursday, and if it's late, I apologize, but of course there's good reason. And it will be our monthly reading on October, although I might kind of want to do a tragedy one, so you never know. So tune in on Thursday to see what I've decided. All right, subscribe, like, comment, share. God bless as we move forward on our path each and every day. All right. God bless. I'm Tracy for a Chandler's Channel.